everybody, welcome back to the channel. So if you watched our last video, you saw that we were working at pulling all the wires out of the old Road Rescue aluminum box. And this is kind of where we're sitting now. We got all the wires out now. I kind of got the relays rigged up, kind of what I'm probably gonna save. Might end up losing a couple more. And then I got this side cordoned off for my 120 volt breaker panel, which ended up showing up today. We went with the Blue Sea 120 volt distribution panel. So it's nice and small, compact, and yeah, and so it should fit in that little spot, not too bad. So if you kind of see, the square that I have laid out on the ground is basically the biggest I can go inside of the ambulance box. So I'm just trying to make do with all the space I have. Now keep in mind, this bottom section here, this is gonna be up against the wall straight up, but the bottom section is all my space for batteries. So I can't go down too much further than that. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to maybe put a wire chase underneath all the Victron control stuff. And then I still gotta get 120 volts power cables into that box, so. All right, so another nice thing I found when I was trying to piece everything together was, I was going through all my old shelving aluminum, and I found a piece that fits the perfect length, and it clips on tight on here. And that's gonna work perfect for our cover. So the plan is, cut this in half, still keep it separated from 120 to the 12 volt DC side. The DC side is just gonna have a screw down cover. And then the 120 side, we're gonna recess in our 120 volt breaker panel, and we're just gonna have that kind of recessed in there. So we shouldn't have to go in that box once we're done wiring it. And then just the 12 volt DC side, we'll have 4 screws and we'll be able to pop that cover off. And that'll give us access to all our fuses, all our relays. Keeps everything nice and sealed up. Won't get too much moisture in there. And then if for some reason somebody's in the cabinet, nothing's gonna fall in and hit it in the cabinet. Keep everything nice and hidden, nice and clean. So yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting now. Yeah, so the plan is gonna be to finish the divider and get this cover all laid out. So let's get to it. All right, this ambulance is a gold mine of aluminum. So looking for some aluminum to put for the divider, and I ended up finding this old relay board kind of piece. Don't need it anymore, so gonna put it on the table saw, cut it up, and weld it in. Alright, so first piece cut. Fits nice and tight in here. A little bit of overlap, so we have something to bolt to. So all that's left now, we'll kind of get this thing prepped, cleaned up, and then we'll start TIG welding it in. Alright, so all the aluminum is basically done on the panel now. You can see I've got our 12 volt section cover done and our 120 volt section done also with the panel already mounted in. This section is going to be permanent. All our wires are going to kind of loop up and through, and all the connectors are going to be coming through the bottom. Just waiting for a few special bolts to mount the covers on. And the 12 volt side is just going to clip in. And that'll give us access to all our relays and fuses if we have to do any kind of troubleshooting in the cover. Yeah, so that's gonna be essentially it for all the welding that needs to be done on the box. It's pretty much ready. Next, we're gonna be jamming in all the electrical wires. So we're gonna go through and rework all our fuse and relays and get the new wiring harnesses back in. So essentially, we need to jam all of this back inside and rewire everything and go through and pick out what we don't need. So that's what's gonna be in the next video in the electrical series. Now for our next video, we're not gonna be concentrating on the electrical. We're gonna be trying to do an import video for everybody. We've had a lot of people asking us, how did we actually import a truck into Canada from the US? There was a lot of red tape to jump through, a lot of stuff that we didn't know going in. We were kind of caught blindsided by a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna go through and break down step by step just what to do and what paperwork you need to be prepared to import a vehicle. Hopefully that video is gonna help out anybody trying to do exactly what we did. It's definitely doable. There's just a lot of steps you need to know beforehand. And then in the meantime, check out other videos, follow along our electrical build series, and there's gonna be a bunch more coming up. And there's also still the rest of the build out in the van, putting the bed in, installing the whole electrical system in the van, all the plumbing. Eventually we're gonna do a 4x4 conversion, so there's gonna be a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.